communications. How address the procedure governing ex parte communication. How they draft all communication should be the draft the chief of the section of the administration office of the procedure with the service administration board Washington D.C. 204230001 unless otherwise directed by another board regulation. All communications for the citizen with the document or title, if any, of the personal communication shall state with his address and part of this representative. 1102 procedure given the ex parte communication definition on the record of the proceeding meeting the member described in section 556, 557 of the Administrative Procedure Act, Title 5 using Code 556, 557, and any of the matter of the Constitution with the statute board rule with the decision particular case with the decide with the solely of the record made with the board proceeding. Informal making proceeding means the proceeding to issue with the amendment with the real repeal purpose for the Title 5 of U.S. Standard Code 553 Part 1110 for the trap the covered proceeding means the item of the record proceed with the informal rulemaking found with the issue with the note of the proposed rulemaking of the person and receive the aim of the proceed with the means of the in-person partnership of the corporation association private public outside of the board with another part of the nor party for the agent of the volunteer communication that has recently been over the advance adversely affected the interest of the party agent within proceeding before the board and ex parte communication means the or written communication with the concern with the merits of the substantial outcome of the pen of the proceeding that is made without notice to all parties without the opportunity of all the parties present that could or is intended to influence anyone with the participate that could reasonably has been expected to participate in the decision ex parte communication that are not prohibited and need not to be the scope of the communication that the board formally rules may be made on an ex parte basis of the communication current with the informal rulemaking proceed with the issue with the notice of the proposed rulemaking. Any communication of the facts content of the general significant and with the regulated issue with the communicator cannot reasonably have to be expected to have the notice of the fact of the contention of the material of the substance of the issue of the pen covered with the proceeding in which is interested in any communication of the media with the new media of the ordinary course of the business of the publisher with the intent to inform the general public of the membership of the organization involved with the subscribed trust publication with the respect of the pen of the cover of the proceeding and communication related solely with the preparation of the documents necessary for the board implementation of the National Environmental Policy Act, related environmental laws pursuant to 1105, which after the any communication concerned with the judicial review on the matter they already have the side of the board between the party of the litigation board and board staff where involved with the litigation. General prohibition, except for the example of the permitted with the rules in this section, no party of the council, agent of the party of the person interested with any of the covered proceeding which gave the expert communication with any of the board member, hearing officer, board employee, participate with the responsibility with the participate with the decision proceeding. No member board member of the hearing officer, person, board, permanently who participate reasonably with the participate in the decision covered with the proceeding shall invite the knowingly entertain with any of the expert communication engaged with any of the communication, any of the party with the council with the agent of the party person responsibly expect with the transmit with the community of the party agent who when prohibition taken effect with the prohibition is taken effect with the prohibition of the expert communications apply with the date of which of the first of the following board decision of the proceeding paid posted to the public act with the board with the person responsible for the communication has knowingly with respect to the following has filled off with the aim of the board of the rule decision specified with the curve of the further informal room making the providing paragraph G of the section of the prohibition consents we impart communication apply with the following issue the note of the proposed rulemaking of the prohibition covering the proceeding the continued until the proceeding no longer subject to the diverse conservation until Title 49 U.S. Standard Code 1322 to the or judicial review. Our proceeding requires the board member, the board staff, the problem of the receiver, the prohibited, the expert take communication, either the board member to hang off the board employee receive the expert communication, not permitted the relation properly with the transmit, either the written communication, some of the oral communication with the outline with the surrounding officers, chief second of the administrative office, with the receiver, for the transportation, section 2 with the promptly with the written material of the summary of the corresponding action of the public document of the proceeding. With the destination of indicating that it has prohibited ex parte communication with is not part of the decision record. Any board member, the hearing officer with the board employee with the recipient of the trust for the ex parte communication record the ruling with the board designated agency of the ethics office official of whether the communication prohibited ex parte communication designated agency ethics official should promptly rely on the trust for the request of the chief section of the administrator office proceeding the should promptly notify the chairman of the board for the ex parte communication. Some of the section chief is designated the agency of the ethics official shall the prompt notify the chairman of all the requests of the ruling, except for the designated agency ethics official. The chairman may require any of the communication be placed for the corresponding section of the document of the fairness required that is made with the public, even if it is not prohibited. The communication chairman may direct for the taking of the any such other action may be appropriate under the circumstances. Sanction of the board may censure and suspend the revoke of the privilege practicing before agency of any of the person knowingly willfully and give you this list of the prohibited extra communication relief of the shall of the party with the cover of the proceeding may be denied of the party his agent knowingly willfully violates foregoing rules. The board may censure, suspend, dismiss, institute proceedings, suspend, dispose of the board employed with knowingly willfully violates this section. Ex parte communication information rule making disclosure of the requirement. Now, seeing with the paragraph 3 with the section ex parte communication board member the informal rule making to see with the permit the issues know of the proposed move making until the 20th day that before the deadline of the reply of the comment set forth in the notice of the proposed rulemaking unless otherwise specified by the reward and procedure of the board orders governing the proceeding. The board may delegate the participation such as the ex parte communication board staff that all ex parte communication must be disclosed according to paragraph G4 of the section. Any person engaged in the ex parte communication must comply with any scheduled additional instruction provided with the board of the proceeding. Communication that do but not comply with the section of the scheduled instruction established for the proceeding or not for the permit subject for the proceeding. Ensure section paragraph E and F section schedule of the ex parte media permit. The paragraph G1 of section paragraph show contact with the board official with the public assist with the government and fair for the complying with the board of the office of which meeting is recorded unless otherwise specified by the board parties seeking to presume with the confidential information during the ex parte communication must inform the board confidentially information from the time of the present citation must comply with and the disclosure requirements of paragraph G44 with the section of the following disclosure requirements may apply with the ex parte communication permit on paragraph G1 of the section. Any person that gave the ex parte communication formal rulemaking procedure that shall submit to the board where office of the delegate of the board staff through whom in the meeting with the memorandum the state of the day of the location of the communication lifted the name of the title of all of the person who would attend with the view of the phone number and video otherwise participate in the meeting during while the ex parte communication is covered the summary of the day of the arrangement argument of the president during the ex parte communication written electrical material shown with the given the board member board staff during the meeting must be attached for the memorandum must be sufficiently detailed describe the substance of the presentation board member the board staff may ask of the presentation to submit the memorandum but not sufficiently detailed. In single meeting included the presentation of the multiple party of the council with the version of the single summary that may be submitted along with the presenter agreed to form the contents of the summary. A memorandum included the attachment containing the information presented the confidential the presenter must submit the public version with the confidential version memorandum that exists for protective the order everything with the proceeding the president at the same time of the president submit the public dedicated memorandum filled with the request of the board seeking such for the order pursuant 1104-14 chapter. Memorandum must be submitted to the board member of the prescribed no later than 2 business days after the ex parte communication. Ex parte memorandum under the section will be posted to the board website with the document of the informal rulemaking procedure within 5 days of the submission. If the presenter have the request of confidential treatment for all of the parts of the memorandum, only the public version will appear with the website of the person except for the confidential version must do for the presumed to the project order for the governing of the proceeding. 1103 practitioners.